As you guys know, we here at Justice absolutely love the Berg Approach Disc. We really don't use anything else, and that's because it's a high speed stability approach disc that you can put a ton of power into but still maintain excellent stability and control. You seriously just put a ton of power and it wants to die and drop where you want it to. Now today, it's all about doing one thing, and that's doing a comparison between the Kastaplast Berg and the Lone Star Disc Armadillo. Now, if you guys didn't know, for the longest time, there was nothing on the market that could really match the high speed stability approach disc of the Berg. Until recently, there's been a few contenders, with the Lone Star Disc Armadillo being one of them. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna test out the Berg versus the Armadillo in situations that we find we use the Berg quite frequently. And we're gonna do it here at the Justice 9-hole course. And hopefully by the end, we're gonna be able to tell you some similarities and differences, and perhaps even pick out a winner. So let's get into it. So before we go through the different scenarios, let's just talk about the differences in terms of profile, flight rating, and really what we're working with. So the Armadillo's flight rating is 120 and 1, and the Berg is 110 and 2. So without even having thrown these discs, it should tell us that the Berg should have a little bit less glide, it should want to die out of the air a little bit quicker, and it should also have a little bit more fade, a little bit more stability when compared to the Armadillo. In terms of weights, the Bergs are max weight, they are brand new, and the Armadillos are about 172, so they're about 3 grams shy when compared to the Bergs. And in terms of plastics, we're using the K1 line from Kastaplast. It's their most popular by far, perfect premium plastic with the perfect amount of stability. Now for the Armadillos, it's a little bit different. We have one in the Bravo, which is premium, but has a little bit more give to it, a little bit more of a flexible plastic. And then we also have the V2, which is one of their base, more of a firm plastic, but it definitely gets the job done and has some excellent grip. So it's just something to keep in mind when we're testing. So let's get to it. All right, so we're gonna start off with just a straight shot at the basket. A high speed stability throw. That's really what this disc is meant for, not deviate and just go straight to the target. So we're gonna start off with the Berg and we'll see how it goes, and we'll also do a couple forehands. I think we're about 180 feet, I would say. Not bad though. There it is. Oh yeah. Oh, what a beautiful flight. Oh, see, a little leakage, right? Still beautiful. Glide a little farther. Still wanted to fight back a bit, which is cool, and still pretty much got to the target. All right, let's go with the Bravo. Oh yeah, pretty good stability. All right, so now we're gonna try some forehands. I'm a little bit more accurate with my forehands. It is my preferred way to approach. All right, let's go. Armadillo, Bravo. Excellent glide. All right, all the way to the back. Keep it a little lower. Yeah, has some turn. Still beautiful though, right at the target. Let's go with the Berg. Yeah, that turned too though. That was my fault, I think, more on that one. Yeah, that one was more a little flip up with fade. Okay, interesting. All right, so this scenario, we're just gonna try and get maximum distance. Which disc can get the most distance, doesn't matter how it's thrown, that's really what we're testing here. And if I were to predict, I'd probably predict that the Armadillo should fly a bit farther because of that little bit extra turn and that glide. Putting him on a little bit of Anhyzer, kind of put him out there a little bit more. Hey, Armadillo. Oh yeah, that's a cruiser. Oh yeah, good glide on these. Let's try again. Oh, I kind of slipped there. Still pretty good. Let's try some forehands. Get a little bit more power out of my forehands. You're gonna have to do some Hyzer flips at this speed, I would say. Here we go. Oh yeah. Great release. Super straight. Good distance. disc isn't about distance, but we're just trying to see if still one can get a little farther than the other. Yeah, look at that Hyzer Flip, the turn, holding that turn pretty good. So sweet, good distance. Oh yeah, good release as well. You can see it drops a little bit quicker. Stays straighter though. Let's try again, last one. Oh, that one I turned. All right, cool stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna test the Hyzer Approach shot with the Berg. Now, we have a lot of experience with the Berg, and we know that a Hyzer Approach shot doesn't really work that well for the Berg. It doesn't really wanna fade too much back to the target, especially if you throw it at a little bit of a higher speed. So we kind of expect the same thing this time around. We'll see how the Armadillo does, and we'll see if we can put these things close to the basket. That was more straight. Ooh, that did not fade back. Try the Armadillo again. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of putting it up there hoping that it fades back. Doesn't really. Berg. Okay, it takes it a little better, but still a very similar result. It's just not a disc that really wants to fade back much. That was a little more power. And yeah, you can see just all of them really just don't want to fight back too well. Let's try a few forehand Hyzer approaches. Now we're almost 200, maybe 180. Just get her there, nice little casual shots. Just barely. Pretty good though. Let's try it again. Much better of a Hyzer. Get in, why don't you? Oh, baby. Gotta love that Berg. Let's try it again. Now we're going Armadillo. Oh yeah, took that Hyzer beautifully. Oh, a little bit straighter on that one. Yeah, I mean, a little bit less fight back. All right, so for the next scenario, we're gonna throw these discs on my favorite way to release them, and that's on an Anhyzer force over line. So a turnover shot that holds the turn the entire way. The Berg definitely shines for this, so we'll see if the Armadillo can do the same. Beautiful shot. Woo! Beautiful shot. Oh, okay, Armadillo, let's do it. Same thing. Oh yeah. Get in. Get in. Woo-hoo-hoo. That held a really nice turn, nice glide. Yeah, fights out a little bit. Oh yeah, that one, a little more turn. Fought back though, it was nice. Yeah, it's a great disc. Both really feel like great discs. Kind of flung that one a bit. Still pretty good. Oh, that one I didn't get all of. That's okay. All right, now for the final scenario, we're just gonna try and throw a straight Hyzer Flip type shot on the 7th hole at the Justice course. It's around 180 feet, so it's really pushing these discs, at least for myself, to the limit, but we'll see how it goes and then we'll conclude. Hold it, little love tap. Oh yeah, right at it there. Oh, even had a little turn on that release, but it just kept its line, which is really nice. Oh, that one had some turn. Good ace though. Yeah, it doesn't, Armadillo, if you're a little off, it'll kind of show it a bit and it'll take that ante if you're giving it any kind of ante. Nice and high. Oh yeah. Right there, right in front. All right, so we're done our testing in different scenarios and it's time to make some conclusions. Honestly, we have to say that both discs are very comparable. They both fly like frozen hamburgers and they really both do the trick. You can't really go wrong if you were to pick up either or. Now, when talking about the thumb track, we have the concave on the Berg and the Armadillo with that little raised rim that you can feel with your finger. They're very comparable. I did not notice any kind of difference when I was throwing them. Neither felt kind of uncomfortable. All in all, the thumb track grooves feel really good. In terms of distance, the Armadillo may be able to get a little bit more because of the turn and glide as expected, but we didn't see that much of a difference. Now for the Hyzer shots, as we said with the Berg, it doesn't really shine that well for big around the bend Hyzer type shots, and the Armadillo was very similar. But if you had to choose out of which one would be better for Hyzers, I would say the Berg, just because it has a little bit more stability. Now in terms of the Anhyzer turnover shots, they both shined very well. I could feel a little bit more stability out of the Berg, but they all held a beautiful turnover, with the Armadillo holding it a little bit more than the Berg. Now for the straight shots, the Hyzer Flip shots where you're taking a lot of torque, as we saw with my forehand, honestly, if I had to choose between the two, I would once again choose the Berg, because it just holds its line a little bit better. And even if you're off your line a little bit, you add a little bit more turn than you wanted to, it still flies pretty straight. Whereas the Armadillo definitely flies straight, but if you release it with a bit of Anhyzer, sometimes by accident, it's going to take a bit of that turn and it's not going to fly as straight as the Berg. Now, if we had to choose between the Berg and the Armadillo, it's a tough one. They both fly so well, and we did really like the little bit of added turn and glide to this disc. It felt really good when you released it properly. But if we had to choose between the two, we would still choose the Berg. Even if you get a little bit less distance, it still is exactly what I'm looking for. Extremely high speed stability, where even if you're off your line, little nose up, little bit of turn, whatever, it still goes generally where you want it. So all in all, they're really great discs. You can't go wrong picking up one of these discs or even other comparable discs, and we'll be sure to leave some in the video description so you can kind of pick and choose. But if you have yet to try one of these high speed stability approach discs that really don't want to go anywhere and just get to the ground quickly, you are truly missing out. And if you haven't seen our Berg review, be sure to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to review these discs. If you like this video, you know exactly what to do, and stay tuned for more Just Disc content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.